Topic number two for the day. Shout out JK. I actually really think this topic's fun. We are going to rank our favorite teams. That these are the channel's favorite teams, 1 through 10, in terms of what most watchable to least watchable. Just so everyone knows, here's the teams we're gonna do. It's BYU, Purdue, Michigan, Michigan State, Illinois, Kentucky, Louisville, Duke, North Carolina, Indiana. Let's see if we can come up with a list we agree upon here, Tanner. We normally do this. You get one. I think G came up with this. You're gonna get one sway. You're gonna be able to sway me one way on something, and then you get one veto where you just get to decide what's gonna be number one. I'm gonna use my veto early. Purdue's number one.
I had Purdue number one too.
Okay, so that's a waste of my veto. I'm known for that, by the way. I've never once used my veto in the right place, but I did say I was going to use it before I even knew who your number one was. So I'm going to use my veto stands and
Well, for one, it's Purdue Love Week for Tanner. For two, they're going to be a great offense and a potentially bad defense. So they're going to be in a lot of awesome shootout games. Purdue games this year are going to be cinema. I'm excited. And all the cool Braden Smith passes he's going to do in close games. It's got like, 91, 89 in the late in the second half. And he pulls out some crazy behind the back tween
so much
legs to
fun.
let
Who'd
your
you have? Who'd you have at two?
BYU.
I agree with that. Yeah,
Ah, look at us. All
I agree
right,
with that.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. There was like I had two or three teams in contention for that, but BYU was at the top of my list.
One of the most fun teams to watch nationally. Period.
I
Kevin,
also just
Kev, sorry.
Devonta.
Yeah, I was gonna
Devonta.
say, well, Kevin Young offenses rock, and now you throw DeBonsa in there. Very fun team. Yep.
Very, very fun. And you just never know what's going to happen with AJ. And I
Yep.
mean that positively, not negatively.
Yep.
Three, I was going to throw I was going to go with Kentucky personally.
I was gonna go with Louisville.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, you know what's funny? You're more pro Kentucky. I'm more pro Louisville on this.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is like when I record with Cart. Cart's very pro Louisville. Cart might be one of the more faker Louisville fans. I don't,
Mm.
but like this is exactly. So I'm willing because of the injuries. Do you want to go Louisville three, Kentucky four?
I would do that. I had Kentucky five, but I could do three and four. I mean, look, just like Louisville's great. Pat Kelsey offense, elite five-star point guard, elite shot making wings, elite spacing. Conwell is one of the nation's best scorer. This is a highly entertaining team. They're going to be a highly entertaining team night in and night out. Kentucky's going to be defense is going to be way more important for Kentucky than Louisville.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. If JQ and Lowe were playing early in the season, I think I would have made a harder push for Kentucky to be three. But with some of the injuries, I definitely think like the early season Louisville games are way more watchable at the
Yep.
moment.
hmm Yep. So we're on to five.
Mhm.
So for number four, I might be a hot take. I put Illinois, but with
Oh yeah.
the caveat when they're hitting shots.
So Illinois was my five just
Oh,
because
nice.
I'm not even saying like we're gonna enjoy it. Like the whole Illinois experience is so entertaining. Whether it's like will Petrovic even play? Is
Mhm.
Stojakovic even hurt? Like what video are they gonna post to social media next? Like the whole Illinois experience is extremely watchable. So yeah, that I completely agree with them at five.
Yeah, and they also just they run a V6 is just a pick and roll, pick and pop machine. So they can just do that every time down the court. They just got to hit some more shots this year. Just hit your threes, man. God, last year was so frustrating watching that team.
Also, Kevin Sweeney, I've said this a few times. Sweeney's completely convinced me Boswell might be an All-American. Like,
Yeah.
I heard him speak about it. G called him, and just listening to him talk about Boswell, I'm like, ah, you know what? Like, yeah, we should all be watching Boswell this year and see what happens.
All right, I'll keep it on my radar. I'm not convinced, but I'll keep it on my radar. Who do you have at six?
Michigan State. So I'm so high on Cohen Carr. I'm extremely, and I think for what it's worth, individual player, the most exciting player in the country. And if Cohen Carr is who I believe he's going to be, which is a 15 to 18 point per game guy, that Michigan State team is going to be so much fun to watch.
I had Michigan and then Michigan State at six and seven.
Can we flip it since we did that with Kentucky Louisville? We'll go Michigan State, Michigan for this go around.
Yes, we can. And I mean, look, my only argument I'll say for Michigan over Michigan State is I'm always fascinated with how Dusty uses his unique rosters. And he has this again this year. Obviously with the three bigs and Yaxel as sort of your like point forward. But I do think the three big situation could result in some weird lackluster ball with some weird floor spacing. And Michigan State, I don't know. Michigan State, I always love watching Michigan State in transition. I think Izzo's the best two-way transition coach maybe ever.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't think they're very fun to watch in all the other areas of the court where they're very physical and they rely a lot on rebounding and shot volume battle and defense. But I'm willing to put Sparty and then the Wolverines at 6 and 7.
Dion, how's your job going?
Beginning of the school year, everything's like a little up and down. One of the biggest issues we've had is we can't find any uniforms for our girls' sports teams.
Mm, that's a difficult thing to find a solution for. I know damn well all about that because I got a daughter that just turned 2. She's into sports and she's already outgrowing every little piece of sports apparel she had. Thankfully, I know Clara Kate Creations. Clara Kate Creations was started by a former high school teacher who quit because it wasn't cost effective to send new twins and a 2-year-old to daycare. She found it easier to make girl sports apparel than finding it to buy. And I am so thankful that she exists because if we have an old shirt of Murph's that she's outgrown, we can send it in and she takes that piece of apparel that means something and upcycles it into an outfit that Murphy can now wear as she grows up. She makes great stuff. It's honestly kind of like your fullback's wife, Kyle Juszczyk. Is that how you say it? She does that. But honestly, I think Clara Kate's coming for Mrs. Juszczyk's job.
I love that. I'm a big Juice guy, love his wife. Love Claire Kate even more than both of them, though.
You can send in your own custom ideas and she will come up with a design. She's just the best. Look up Clara Kate Creations on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and more.
I mean, I had Michigan 10 because LA Cadeau's on the roster, but I'm okay putting them at
That's
7.
so fair.
I'm okay putting them at 7. I couldn't be more out on LA Cadeau. But I will say this, I've said it all off season. Dusty May has me convinced it might work too. I don't actually know.
Right.
um, what do you think
Now,
about 8, 9, 10?
I went Duke
Okay.
at 8. I don't know if you had the
So
same.
Duke was 9 for me.
Okay.
I think Duke might be besides Purdue, Duke's the best team on this list. I think Duke's style of play in terms of watchability, it's not at the top of my list.
I think Shire offenses can be kind of boring.
Yeah.
A lot of stagger after stagger relies on talent. Plus, they usually just blow out their ACC competition and are just so elite defensively. They can be a pain to watch. Like the who was it 2 years ago? The Filipowski year. I thought it was the same set over and over. They run slow. Like I wrote a story on this a couple years ago. Coach K was one of the more quick paced coaches in the nation. Shire has taken it down to a grind. They just slowly grind you down with more methodical half court sets and play elite transition defense. And it works. Not very fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, in terms of winning games, I think Duke and Purdue are easily the best two teams on this list, and I think I very well believe those two could be the last two teams standing, and then it's a coin flip, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of watchability, I don't want to watch great defense. I'm good. I'd
I
rather
don't want
watch
to watch
exciting stuff.
Duke, Georgia Tech on a Saturday at noon. I just don't. Yeah. I want to bet the under and turn on a mid-major game. Um,
That's why I had Indiana 8.
yeah,
Uh,
so I didn't know where to put Indiana on this list. So here's kind of what my thing was I put him at 10, saying this is not going to be the case this year. They will probably actually be one of the more fun teams to watch because I really like DeVries offense.
yeah.
I'm poking one last joke at Woodson slot ball. Those teams were the fucking worst to watch. I am so happy I never have to watch him again. Let's put Indiana at 8. We'll put Indiana at 8.
I'm
Honestly, though, if that team pans out how I expect it to, by watchability, I'd put them right in the firmly in the Kentucky, Illinois, Michigan tier, that 4, 5, 6 area. But I'll
completely
put them,
agree. As
yeah.
a West Virginia fan, I think Darren DeVries' offenses are like one of the more exciting offenses to watch in the country. He has a lot more talent, I would say, this year as well.
Wilkerson is going to be awesome.
Than he
Yeah.
had last year. And I think, I mean, his son, by the way, like Tuck didn't play for us like last year,
Yeah.
really.
Mhm.
And you give Tuck and Lamar, I don't know. I really do believe in, even Reed Bailey. I really do believe in this Indiana team. I think he quietly put together one of the best teams in the Big Ten. I had
Yeah.
North Carolina 9, Caleb Wilson,
Oh, so
Kion as
you had North Carolina at 9 and Duke at 10?
well, technically at Duke 9, Michigan 10, but since we put Michigan 7, I then bumped them all down a slot. But
Okay.
yeah, I think North Carolina to me is more watchable than Duke because I also think Duke's going to beat everybody ACC besides Louisville by 30. And that isn't very watchable. Like Duke is gonna punish this conference. They're gonna punish their non-conference teams. Like when you look at the Duke schedule, there's not many games they watch where I'm like that should be close, or there's not many games they play where I think that it's gonna be very close.
I put Duke over North Carolina just because I don't like North Carolina ball right now.
Oh,
But Caleb Wilson, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. I have to think about that. Do I have a veto though? I still have a veto,
yeah,
right?
you have the veto. You could do North Carolina 10 and Duke 9. I'm fine with that.
All right, that's the veto, but I will say I'm not sure about it. So, all right, our full list then: Purdue, BYU, Louisville, Kentucky, Illinois, Michigan State, Michigan, Indiana, Duke, North Carolina. We are not big ACC guys.
Yeah, ACC stinks. And it's
I'm kind of anti ACC too. Like I feel like when I'm turning on, all right, so like on a Saturday, typically what I do is I have two quad boxes going on my desk, one for high major teams, one for mid major teams. I always leave out the ACC like game of like the window. You know what I mean? I like unless it's like Duke, North Carolina, but then usually I tune that out at halftime if Duke's blowing them out or something.
no, completely
Yeah,
agree. Completely agree. Like yeah, I don't know. I'm Duke, Georgia Tech, like you said, that doesn't
doesn't move
interest
the
me.
needle.
Duke, Clemson doesn't interest me. I can get behind a North Carolina Clemson game because it would be close. But like
Yeah,
those, it's close in the same sense that like Northwestern UCLA, or not UCLA is a bad example. Northwestern USC might be close.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it's not like a close game because I think both teams are good.
I am very excited to watch all the Louisville non-conference games, though. I'm gonna watch every single one of those.
Louisville's going to be very fun. That's why we rank them high. But as you can see from our list, not big ACC guys, but as usual, another win for my Boilermakers, 3 units.